On my 18th birthday, my adoptive uncle, Roderick Campbell, discovers my journal. He immediately starts berating me. How could you have such dirty thoughts about me, Savannah? I never would have expected you to be like this. I apologize to him and say I should never have developed feelings for him. However, he still banishes me abroad. Then, he has a grand wedding with his first love. Later, I return to the country with a child. Roderick looks at me in astonishment. Who is this kid? I hold the child closer. My son. He's 3 this year. I turn to Danny Tucker and say hi, Danny. Even as I boarded the plane, everything still felt surreal. In the 6 years I had spent abroad, I never imagined that I'd have the chance to return. After all, Roderick Campbell had once told me he never wanted to see me again. Yet, it was he who had asked me to come back. He had arranged everything, just so I could attend the celebration of Francesca Hart's victory in the jewelry design competition. Back then, I had left for somewhere far away. Even the flight had 2 layovers. After we landed, Danny Tucker stirred in my arms. The unfamiliar surroundings made him uneasy, and he reached out, calling, Mommy. Seeing his frightened face, I quickly picked him up. Soon, I made my way to the terminal doors at the airport. I was just about to flag down a cab when my phone in my pocket rang. I had deleted the number long ago, but it was still etched in my memory. I didn't snap out of my daze until the call ended automatically. Then, without much delay, my phone rang again. Taking a deep breath, I pressed the answer button. Almost immediately, Roderick's voice came through. Have you exited the terminal yet? He asked. I'll have my assistant pick you up. Even after all these years, his voice hadn't changed. It was still cold and distant, as if we were discussing business. I chuckled dryly. There's no need for that. I can take a cab. Roderick didn't expect my response and paused. After all, he had always looked after everything for me before. During the years we lived together, every detail of my life, food, clothing, and daily needs, was taken care of. I even had a personal driver, so I never had to hail a cab. After a moment of silence, Roderick spoke again. Let Curtis pick you up. There's a gift for Francesca in the trunk. I picked it out on your behalf, so make sure she gets it. He had always been attentive to Francesca. 6 years ago, he had given her a lavish, once-in-a-lifetime wedding. He had even bid on a rare diamond and turned it into a custom wedding ring. All of this proved one thing: Roderick loved Francesca. Got it, I said flatly, eager to end the conversation. However, he didn't hang up right away. Instead, his voice took on a warning tone. You've been abroad for 6 years, so I hope you've thought things through by now. Don't cause trouble, and don't even think about hurting Francesca. I froze, the noise around me fading into silence. By then, Roderick had ended the call, and a bitter smile tugged at my lips. His warning was unnecessary as I had no intention of doing anything. All I wanted now was to have a quiet life with Danny and a job that could support us. As I left the airport, I pulled my cap lower over my face. The passion I'd had at 18 had long since burned out. Even I couldn't believe how far I had fallen. In 6 years, I had hit rock bottom. My parents died in a plane crash when I was young, leaving me with no relatives. As a result, I became an orphan. Roderick saw how vulnerable I was and supported me financially. Because of him, I had the opportunity to grow up with stability. Our bond was like that of family. But when I turned 18, I realized I had developed feelings for him. I knew, however, that we could never be together. So, I wrote my feelings down in my journal. If Roderick had never seen it, I could have buried those feelings and kept them hidden forever. But he had found it. In a fit of anger, he had ripped my journal apart. When he looked at me, his eyes were filled with disgust. Savannah Lloyd, how could you feel that? He had spat. I had wanted to explain, but I hadn't known how. Ultimately, all I could do was apologize repeatedly, telling him that I shouldn't have feelings for him. I hadn't understood why it was wrong to have feelings for Roderick, but if it had disgusted him that much, then maybe the fault was mine after all. Even so, he hadn't let it go. The next day, Roderick pulled me out of school.